Hi, this is Toby with HMC Electronics. We're going to be taking a look at the BFN803 from Transforming Technologies. The BFN803 is an overhead ionizer. That means it normally wouldn't be facing this way. In fact, it would actually be hanging from your lights here. And it was very nice of Transforming Technologies. They even sent us the mounting brackets that take probably only about 5 minutes to install, so you can hang this light. As you can see, the BFN803 has 3 fans, 2 LED lights which throw off a ton of light. Each of the fans have the built-in emitter point cleaners right here. The unit itself is an AC technology unit. What is AC technology? So your emitter points on a DC ionizer would either give you positive or negative ions. On an AC unit, that emitter point gives you both positive and negative ions. That gives you an emitter point that is going to last longer. It provides an ionizer that is inherently balanced. If you think about if an emitter point went down on a DC ionizer, you'd have an imbalance. If an emitter point goes down on an AC ionizer, which, by the way, these things last for years, but if it were to, you'd still have a perfectly balanced ionizer, just producing 1 emitter point less of ions. The size of the BFN803, it is 38 3/4 this way, 6 3/4 this way, and a little over 3 inches in its depth. The area of coverage for a BFN, how much of your desk it is actually going to cover as far as your ionized area, is about a 2 foot by 4 foot space. Obviously the 4 feet going this way, 2 feet going that way. The decay rate on an ionizer, these things are interesting to measure because when you first do a decay rate on an ionizer, you test about 18 inches away and say, oh wow, it's less than 3 seconds. But then when you think about an overhead ionizer, you say, well, of course I'm not going to hang an overhead ionizer only 18 inches away. So when you are setting up and testing this ionizer, best to have it run for a few seconds, then take your field meter and see that balance, and you will see that this is really flooding that 2 by 4 foot area, and you'll get a better idea of decay rate than if you just start up the ionizer and then just do a test at 18 inches away from start. The BFN803 3-fan, if at its highest setting, is 52 dBA, which is about the same as a fume extractor. However, I don't know of many areas that are running these ionizers at the absolute highest setting. Generally what you're going to find is you're going to start somewhere in a low setting, you're going to take your field meter, do your test, and see if that is acceptable. You want to find that perfect balance between the amount of noise that can work in your environment and the ions that is flooding and your decay time. So that's a little bit of trial, but I definitely wouldn't start with it on its highest setting. 52 dBA is not very loud. I am having to raise my voice slightly to be heard over it, but it's definitely something that you'll be surprised when you can set it down to about 3, much quieter, and still perform that ionization flood very effectively. If you find yourself wondering how it is that I know so much about so many different products that we feature here on the HMC videos, it is a little bit of studying, and that studying comes from our very own website, hmcelectronics.com. If you have any questions on this unit, you're always welcome to give us a call, but you will also find that we have all of the tech specs, tech data sheets, everything else for everything that we ever film right on hmcelectronics.com, and just search for the BFN803. If you do have any other questions, give us a call though, or drop us an email. Thanks for watching, and happy soldering.